Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the Battle of the Week. And I'm gonna be reusing this footage because from what I heard, this one is really good. This is my first time watching it. And this week I would like to dedicate it to light artillery because I feel like it's a very, how should I say, undervalued unit. Because it doesn't do much damage and it is a very vulnerable unit. But in a competitive scene, it can be incredibly effective because of its high range. And because of its high area of effect, it is able to control the area at the hands of a very good player. It can do tremendous damage from what I've been testing recently, especially to the skirmishers, because if you're fighting against skirmishers, you don't need to do much damage, because they don't have much health to begin with. So let's see how Dexterous, who is going to be the hero of today, we're going to be watching his game of the Sun Tzu clan. So we have a unique formation here. I'd like to show you this cross formation. As you can see, a tier 10 artillery and a tier 9 artillery are now firing and controlling this area completely. So they have no targets. What do? Also, I'd like to point out that with Sula you're able to deploy your wooden stakes almost instantly. So we've got Caesar and Sula playing there. Caesar gives you a reload bonus. In the future, he's going to be giving you a range bonus. Okay, so we see that there's no action over here. On the right side, the red team is pushing heavily and have gained the numbers advantage by 25 points. They also have light artillery. Blue team also has heavy artillery, and they're controlling it. Slowly, they're pushing forward. Now they're firing over here. Just look at this tremendous range, and the damage is pretty good. I mean, 16% damage with almost no repercussion. I'll take that. Now, the base is getting capped by some elephants. Not very good. 2,000 damage from one shot. Not bad. But of course, nothing compared to, say, archers, and because of this formation, the light artillery is not going to be doing much damage. However, the fact that it can do damage without receiving it means if you're playing it defensively, that's as best as it gets. That's some good damage right there. Almost some nuke damage. Mind you, these are just three artillery, never mind. So the red team is pushing towards the base. However, thanks to the light artillery's long range, they're able to control the base and constantly decap it. This also gives them complete freedom of target, so at the hands of a good player, no unit will be able to get a lot of decap points. Now, of course, it can be overwhelmed, but as we can see, it is able to hold off all of these units pretty easily. So now they're positioning, they're taking the enemy's push towards the base to their advantage. So this creates a whole new strategy where they want their base to be captured so that they can shoot them to death. 25% and boom, 3,000 damage on the elephants. 5 light artillery firing onto their base, constantly decapping while the enemy keeps on receiving damage. So they have lost 9 units of javelins from here just from the stray artillery fire. Keeps on bouncing, it keeps on bouncing. Now, as artillery, the important thing they need to remember is which units they haven't shot yet. That way they can keep on decapping, and the enemy team will keep gaining hope that they can overwhelm. But nope. Now, the important thing that the team needs to do for this strategy to work is to keep vision. So now they've lost vision. Keep on getting capped. Heavy artillery can still do manual fire. Now just look at this beautiful artillery nest. How can they beat a formation like this with Vichis, with proscriptions? Oh my god. Now this is a camp of camps. That's the difficult part about balancing anti-camping units. There's very little thing stopping them from becoming the camp. And now, with a lot less units, they are capping and threatening the enemy base. The enemy has lost so much health. Now the artillery has gained the top spot. It's pretty difficult to score very good with light artillery from what I've seen. At least I haven't been able to. So they're decapping in a more traditional way, but here they're exchanging units. On the other hand, the light artillery is not losing any health. So finally, the red team has found some area to camp against the artillery. But will that be enough? So this formation against the pikemen is very dangerous because of this. 5,000 damage right there. Unbelievable. Uh-oh. The elephants are coming their way, but they're low on health. So now the artillery is repositioning, the light artillery is repositioning behind their lines to hold the elephants back. Heavy artillery and light artillery are firing together against those elephants. Let's see how will they work. Right now they've got 2-to-1 advantage. Still pretty difficult. Oh, elephants are marching through those stakes and have engaged the Arcani directly. Dexterous pulls back and manages to kill that elephant, threatening their light artillery. The elephants got distracted and now they're fighting cavalry, but they're protected from the artillery, so they're able to do damage without receiving it. That becomes very important if you are playing a skirmisher battle or a more kite battle. To do damage without receiving damage in a long game can definitely win you the game. After all, you're playing for time. It's a pretty strategic move. And the elephants, because they're unable to break these stakes without receiving tremendous damage, they can do that. They can just sit behind those stakes. See, now the determination is pushing. They're steadily receiving damage. Will the elephant be successful? The ballista has panicked and they ran away from their stakes. That's a bad move on the ballista's part. Oh boy, these noble horse can do a lot of damage over here. They charge straight into those stakes and they rout. They die on those stakes. Now the red team barely has any units left, and this is a successful execution of a skirmisher strategy, just utilizing their advantage of range. A kind of campy, I'll give you that much, but this camp can be very easily broken. Unlike a heavy artillery camp, any slinger will be able to one-shot all this light artillery because they have no artillery piece to guard them from the archer fire. Like, they can die very easily. That's the thing. They have a high-risk, high-reward unit. I wouldn't even say they're a high-reward unit. They're just a high strategic value unit because of their range. And here we see its utilization to its maximum. Like, it's just... all the stars were aligned and we had 5 light artillery and we saw clearly what 5 light artillery can do to the game. Still almost 3-to-1 advantage. The ability to do damage without receiving any. That's the... like, that's Sun Tzu's wet dream right there. Not the clan, but the strategist. That's the way to win the battle. After all, the acme of excellence is not to fight and win every battle, but to fight, but to win without fighting. And if you think about it, they're not even fighting. They're just, you know, firing their bolts. Let's speed things up because there is not much left. Now the enemy has got only some light artillery, so we might see some light artillery on light artillery action. So we've got the battle of 2 artilleries. Now they're capping. The light artillery is gonna get overwhelmed from this situation, and that's exactly what happens. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you next time.